simple everyday moments like eating dinner or just watching cars go by and turn them into learning moments.
Ooh, look, red car.
Yes, it's moving awfully fast.
Blue car.
Yes, the man in the red car is about to meet the man in the blue car. Get himself a pretty pink ticket.
Turn everyday moments into learning moments. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Over there's the water. Whoosh, whoosh. And look at all this stuff I'm standing on. It's called sand, and it's everywhere.
This woman may sound silly to you and me.
It's made up of little tiny pieces of rocks. Teeny little pieces of rocks.
But to her 2-year-old son exploring the world around him, she makes perfect sense.
How does it feel when you touch the sand? Is it warm?
Uh-huh.
It's hard to hold in your hand, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Learning starts long before school does, and children are naturally curious. They want to learn, so follow their lead. Take simple everyday moments like sorting laundry or playing on the beach and turn them into learning moments.
Is this water?
No.
Very good. This is sand. Oh, no, it's not food. It's sand. We don't eat sand.
Turn everyday moments into learning moments. Find out how at bornlearning.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 1061 ESPN.
Start your morning right with Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company, the official coffee of Fitz and ESPN Richmond. They have fresh artisan pastries made from scratch daily in their own in-house bakeries to go along with some of the best coffee in RVA. 3 locations, one in Shockoe Bottom, one in the West End, and one in Lynchburg. Check them out too online at ironcladcoffee.com. Fitz the Bill is powered by Ironclad Coffee Roasters and Baking Company each and every morning.
Richmond, it's time to get your morning going. Spice them up.
We are going to wreak havoc.
The only thing I am thinking about is the game.
Holy catfish! Touchdown, Seahawks!
Rashid Shaheed. Richmond Sports Talk by Richmond sports fans. This is Fitz the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick. All live from the capital of the Commonwealth, where sharp analysis, your cause, and Richmond always come first. If it's making headlines locally or nationally, we're breaking it down. Now, live from the capital of the Commonwealth, Fitz the Bill with your host, Jack Fitzpatrick.
Good Friday morning. Appreciate you clocking in, getting your day started with us right here on 1061 ESPN Richmond, the ESPN Richmond app, ESPNRichmond.com, streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just type in ESPN Richmond if you want to watch the stream. Like, comment, subscribe to be part of it over there. You can be part of the show right here by calling or texting in to the Radke Insurance phone line, 804-327-0888. An absolutely fun Friday that we've got coming up. We've got to break down all the trades, the potential trades that may come. The NBA, this is my favorite time in the NBA offseason because it's just randomly, it's just going to be a ton of trades, a ton of movement, and then it's just going to kind of go silent before the start of the season, and then it'll all get going back up. But it's the soap opera that always gives. We got to break down what happened with the U.S. men's national team. Is it time to overreact? No, and I don't think that's a hot take either. And it is Hot Take Friday, so get your hot takes in throughout the entire show by calling or texting in 804-327-0888. I got to kick it off with the first hot take of the day. It's not often that you see a trade. Look, I'm not in the business of grading trades, but if I was, this would have been a rare trade yesterday between the Timberwolves and the Hornets that both got an F. I don't understand this trade from either perspective. The Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday traded Naz Reid, an unprotected first-round pick in 2033. Also, it's of note that a lot of these trades that we've seen the last couple of days, they've included picks 2030 and beyond, because that is when the lottery rules might change completely again. We are in this era of no one really knowing what the lottery is going to be in the next 4 years because the lottery changes that they made, where there's the relegation zone, you can't pick in the top 5 3 straight years, you can't pick back-to-back number ones, all of these asinine rules that they've implemented in the lottery, that ends at the end of this CBA, and this CBA ends at the end of the 2029-2030 season. So a lot of these picks that are being thrown around right now are after that, because there's a potential the lottery goes back to what it was, this last draft. So a 2033 unprotected first-round pick was sent to Charlotte along with Naz Reid, 3 first-round pick swaps in 28, 29, 2030. So Charlotte will get the better of the 2. And 3 second-round picks were sent as well, 2029, 2032, 2033. Timberwolves in the trade, they get LaMelo Ball and Josh Green. But LaMelo Ball, of course, is the headline one. But look, seeing what both teams got, I don't get the trade, because let's start with the Timberwolves of it all, right? You lose Naz Reid, a fan favorite, a big man, someone that you kind of needed next to Rudy Gobert, right? You lose Naz Reid and you get what? A volume shooting guard paired next to a volume shooting guard. Not a shooting guard is the position, but they are a volume shooter, right? They like to take their shots. Anthony Edwards, he averages 20.2 field goal attempts per game. LaMelo averages 17.3 field goal attempts per game. That's a lot of field goal attempts between those two guards. The positive here for Minnesota, you get a legit offensive player, right? LaMelo is a legit top 5 offensive player per possession, ranks in the 99th percentile in terms of on-off splits for 2 straight years. Edwards, LaMelo, those were picks 1 and 3 in the draft a couple of years ago. You've got a really nice backcourt. Defense is going to be a question. How the ball is going to be split up between the two of them is going to be a question. Availability is a massive question when it comes to LaMelo. Over the last 4 seasons, he's played 36, 22, 47, and 72 games. Now, the Hornets probably sold high on his availability. And by trading Naz Reid, your front court is a disaster because you lost Julius Randle in a salary dump. You now have lost Naz Reid, and you've really only got Rudy Gobert. Your backcourt is Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, and Ayo Dosunmu, who you just inked to an extension. And now you don't have any draft capital. This is your massive swing for the fences. And if you miss, you are royally screwed, right? Because you do not control your own first-round pick in 27, 28, 29, 2030, 2031, and 2033. Whew, Nelly. And then on the other side of it, why both teams get an F, right? The Hornets just broke up. This is a stat from Rohan, not Carney. The Hornets just broke up the NBA's best lineup from last season. LaMelo, Konkanippel, Bridges, Miller, and Diabate were plus 26.4 net rating in 509 minutes. The best among any lineup that logged 200 minutes played together. They broke that up. And in the short term, they got worse. Look, you got to have a lot of faith in faith and trust in the front office. I don't know if I necessarily do, but Chris McClain from WFNZ in Charlotte, he went on Amber and Ian yesterday and talked about how this move just listen to him. I mean, he's high. He has some praise for this move.
You have to give Jeff Peterson credit. He has not made a mistake when it comes to trade since he's come here. He has acquired such a treasure chest of assets that and now they got the $41 million trade exception, and like you're saying, Ian, more's coming. And so I do think there is an element of, man, we're so emotionally attached to LaMelo in this city, and we loved watching those guys play together down the stretch. I do think we have to tell ourselves, man, there is more coming. Shams reported that, multiple teams are engaging with the Celtics on Jaylen Brown. One of our TV reporters said a source is telling me Charlotte's one of them, and they have that huge trade exception. So there's more coming.
That's the only silver lining in all of this, because right now the Charlotte Hornets got worse. The Minnesota Timberwolves threw a lot of questions, and they went all in on LaMelo Ball. Now, he brought up the trade exception there. Chris McClain just did from WFNZ in Charlotte. With the trade, they got one of the largest trade exceptions in NBA history, $40.7 million. Now, Jack, what's a trade exception? Man, I'm so glad you asked. When a team trades away a player and gets back less salary than they sent out, the NBA gives them a trade exception for the difference. It's a one-time ability to absorb salary in a future trade without having to match it with outgoing salary. It expires after 1 year if unused. So the $40.7 million that Charlotte got in a trade exception means they can use that to maybe go out and get Jaylen Brown or get a big name. And look, if you go out and get Jaylen Brown, though, you're likely losing Con Knippel and or Brandon Miller and or a lot of the draft picks that you just acquired in that Naz Reid trade. And according to the reporters on the ground in Charlotte, some of the biggest names around in NBA media, the front office of Charlotte wants to mimic what OKC did, and they want to hoard draft picks. So they're going to have to give up something they really like in order to get Jaylen Brown, but they did set themselves up to go out and do it with the massive trade exception that they got in this trade. But even with that, right here, right now, the day after this trade, Alan, I give both of these sides an F. I do not love this deal for either side.
I love the deal for the Hornets if they flip Naz Reid and these picks into something else. Honestly, they could use Naz Reid over like a Greg Williams or somebody slotted in there. But if they can get a Jaylen Brown or another piece similar to that, then I'm like, yeah, they definitely won this trade. I'm also
if they get Jaylen Brown, I will say I will revise everything I just said.
If that was the long-term plan, because now they have collateral that they can throw in there. But I would imagine that picks would be at a premium for the Celtics to get in return for Brown. Also, I'm not too upset with splitting it up. I don't think LaMelo helped the overall like rhythm of the team, and I think that was apparent more in the playoffs than anything else. I feel like it's just getting ahead of an inevitable problem. At some point, he or Knippel would be pretty much vying for this is my team based on how they play. And LaMelo wants to have the ball. LaMelo wants to be the creator. And I think Con Knippel needs the ball in his hands a little bit more to get comfortable. So you probably need a more traditional point guard that's not a scoring point guard, or more of a natural distributor, I would say.
And they got that in Kobe White. They traded for Kobe White last season, and then they just signed him to a 3-year, $74 million deal yesterday. He's expected to slot in as the point guard. And, oh, by the way, the Hornets drafted a guard at 18 in Christian Anderson that they've got high hopes for. So
When I look at it, it's less is more if you're Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's not what you want to hear.
I mean, look, I think there's a lot of layers to this, and I say it often as a guy from Charlotte, right? Like,
I was going to say, you're invested.
I know what LaMelo means to that city because he was part of this rebuild that all of a sudden
he's like the face of it.
Yeah, he is the face of it. And then all of a sudden, boom, right? It caught fire last year in terms of like the rebuild just was accelerated. They hit a home run with Con Knippel. Brandon Miller looks like a really solid second option on a team. And like, it looked like that was going to be the three guys, the three musketeers down in Charlotte for at least the next 2 or 3 years. And how this last season ended. I mean, you just heard it that when they were on the floor together, Brandon Miller, Con Knippel, LaMelo Ball, that starting five was the best starting five in the NBA. And over the last 2 or so months of the season, Charlotte was the best team in the association by net rating. So I think a lot of Charlotte fans were like, all right, this is going to work. Run it back 1 more year. Then we'll see what happens. But I think the front office almost, I think the front office, I don't like the move. I got to say that. But I see what they're doing. I don't agree with it, but they aren't using last year as a springboard. They're like, that was fool's gold. We've got to stick to the plan that we have. We can't let last year kind of throw us off of our path forward. It kind of reminds me of the Commanders from a couple of years ago. They make the NFC Championship game, and I think it slightly threw them off of what their plan was, their long-term vision was, because they got to the NFC Championship, and they said, all right, let's try to run it back. Let's re-sign all of these old guys and hope we get kind of lucky again with injuries and we get the right breaks. And they didn't, and they end up drafting in the top 10, and they get Sonny Styles. And I think they got back to their path this offseason by getting younger and signing all of the defensive guys. I think the Hornets are like, we don't want to get off of our path. This is the path forward. We can't let last year influence our future decisions because that was a flash in the pan.
Yeah, and again, I think in their case, if you take the emotional attachment out of it, it's not a bad trade in the Hornets case because they're not going to lose a ton of offensive production because Con Knippel's not going to get more shots, and you already seen what he does. Brandon Miller's definitely more than capable of carrying a team offensively as well. And then on the defensive side, like it wasn't like LaMelo was giving them a lot. You're gonna miss the creativity, but you can get that from a traditional point guard. I'm not saying anybody can. I don't want to say it like that. Anybody can pass the ball, but the elements that LaMelo presented for this team on the offensive side will be replaced by a greater volume of Brandon Miller and Con Knippel. I think that's the big picture there.
I am really also confused on the Minnesota Timberwolves side.
I hadn't got to that part.
Let's get there
the Timberwolves are awful. This is the dumbest thing I could ever think of for the Timberwolves, for the simple fact the two people that you're looking to beat, the Spurs and the Thunder, their strengths are having giants who can stretch the floor and depth. You got rid of your depth and you got rid of some of your length to replace with the backcourt player. Like, it's essentially like a glass cannon philosophy. We're going to just try to outscore these guys, and that's not going to work, man.
It's so funny. They're like, all right, everyone's zigging. We are going to zag. They're all big. They got stretch fives. They've got these star big guards because Shea's a big guy. Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, they're all big guys, right? And they're like, all right, what if we just go really small and we just get two guys who love to handle the basketball and they love to shoot? And the one
big guy we keep,
and he can't move,
is limited range
defensively and offensively.
Yes.
Greatest paint defender in the league, worst non-paint defender in the league. And they're like, what if this works? And oh, by the way, we're not going to have control of our own first rounder next draft, the draft after that, the draft after that. The draft after that, the draft after that. We have it in 2032, but not in 2033 either.
Yeah, my friend was like, well, they can get a guy. I said, no, they can't, because all the assets they would have used to get a guy, they've given away.
They're backed in a corner, and that's why I said they took a massive swing. 3-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. You're down by 3. Oh, here comes the pitch. I like it. It's a fastball down the middle, like the pitch I'm going to throw out tonight at the Flying Squirrels. Fastball down the middle. Hitting about 95, batter's eyes get real wide. I take a massive hack at that bad boy, and I corkscrew myself into the dirt after I miss it. That is the potential here.
I really don't know I don't know what their vision is on that.
There is no vision. There is no passion. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We've got Bruce on line 1. Good morning, Bruce. How we doing?
Good morning, Fitz. Good morning, Alan. I think in Minnesota, from what we've heard, the locker room was in such bad form throughout the Julius Randle era. It appears they were like, we got to get him out of here. And I know Julius Randle's not part of this trade. I get that, guys. What I'm saying is there was so much chaos in that locker room, and I think Nas Reed was a good fit. So I was sort of surprised as well when the news dropped. But I heard that the friendship between LaMelo and Ant is so tight, they think that can work. Of course, they did a extension for their 3. So I think in Minnesota's position, they are now 1 pick away, because you cannot expect the French connection down in the 5 to hold that down. You have got to go out and get, I don't know who a 4 would be to replace Nas Reed, but I think you have to do that. I agree with you guys with Charlotte. I think Charlotte was in love with what they're building down there. However, you heard scuttlebutt. Fitz, you would know better than I. The injuries of LaMelo.
Yeah.
I think that was part and parcel. I believe also, guys, this pick of, I said something before the draft. This kid from Texas Tech, guys, I don't know how much you guys watched him play. This kid is the real deal. I know they got the big man from Washington or wherever, but this kid that they got in Texas Tech, he is a true point guard. I'm not saying LaMelo was not. I want to be clear on that because LaMelo is special. But this kid is a true point guard. So I think their position is, can we go out and set ourselves up to be in the Jaylen Brown discussion? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to set ourselves up. I'm a Brandon Miller fan. Let me be transparent in saying that. But I would think in order to move for Jaylen, you're giving up Brandon Miller. And I think Boston would be interested in Brandon Miller if they could get that type of explosive three. And you know, sometimes, y'all help me with this. Sometimes when you make these shakeups, hey, we're making a shakeup, and you already see something building. Sometimes it can turn around and slap you in the face. Yeah. So I'm a Charlotte Hornet fan. I like Brandon Miller. I like LaMelo. But I do believe the point guard that was drafted is the real deal. And I think they've had so much luck on that first-year pick of Con Knippel that they're thinking, hey, we can roll dice. We have the makeup here. So let's see what happens in Charlotte. I think the NBA is straight fire, guys. And I think it's going to continue to be fire for a month. We have the rookie camps coming up in Vegas, and the NBA is going to try to battle again the start of the NFL to see if they can get some press clipping.
Yeah, they got an uphill battle on that one. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot left to be uncovered in the NBA. I mean, there's discussion. Of course, Jaylen Brown trade, Kevin Durant trade is something that is being floated. Where does LeBron end up? Still a lot of things left to be done here in the offseason. Appreciate you calling in, Bruce. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend as well. There goes Bruce. I don't get this for the Timberwolves whatsoever. And I hear what Bruce is saying. The locker room could have been bad, and that's the Randall dump. And then they kind of wanted to bring in some guys, and the relationship between Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball that maybe pushed him over the edge to go out and get LaMelo. The funny thing about all of this is it recirculated, but a writer for The Athletic tweeted out when the Timberwolves drafted Anthony Edwards back in, what was that, the 2020 NBA draft, a writer for The Athletic tweeted, "So we know they picked Edwards, but that's not my little nugget for you all. It's why they picked Edwards. There were a million different reasons in their evaluation, but one of them was that they had an interview with LaMelo Ball during the process trying to figure out, hey, is this the guy for us? And LaMelo did not interview very well. One of the questions they asked him was, hey, LaMelo, after you're done playing, what do you see yourself doing? What kind of things do you aspire to? And LaMelo said, I want to be president of the United States. Good old LaMelo. But it's just funny that just a couple of years ago, the Timberwolves got scared off in drafting LaMelo.
Because
and
he
now
wanted to be president?
Apparently because he had big aspirations. Sorry. And then 6 years later, they're like, you know what? We didn't want to use our number 1 overall pick on him, but we would love to use an unprotected 2033 first rounder and 3 first-round pick swaps to go out and get him. Head scratching. And as of right now, the day after the trade, I'm giving both of the teams an F. A rare time to give both teams an F.
I personally wouldn't want to swap Brandon Miller for Jaylen Brown, but I get it.
I get it, but
that's just a personal preference for me.
Because I also love Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I love Brandon Miller.
True shooter.
And I also don't like Brown's attitude. But I definitely understand and see what Bruce is talking about. Like, you wouldn't be able to have both of them on the team. And Brown would be more complimentary. Or you basically, in getting rid of LaMelo Ball, you're basically admitting at no point with Knippel and Miller can you have 3 people that need the rock. Like, that's essentially what you're admitting. You're going to a 2-man team and you need role players and people who understand their roles and are willing to defer to Miller and Knippel. So adding Brown would just put you back in the same problem that you admitted isn't going to work, which is you got 3 guys that need the ball.
Yeah. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out. All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. Before we do that, we've got a couple of tickets to give away to the Flying Squirrels game tonight. It is football night over there at CarMax Park. First 2,500 fans get a free soccer scarf. It is Los Ardias Voladores night, so they'll be wearing a special jersey. Come on out, say hi. We'll be out at CarMax Park tonight as well. We might have some Fitz the Bill stickers, some Fitz the Bill hats, things of that sort. But if you text in the word squirrels, that's all you got to do. Just text in the word squirrels. Between now and the end of the show, we will pick 5 people. That's right, 5 people to win a 4-pack of tickets. 5 people will win 4 packs of tickets. Does that make sense? You'll win a 4-pack of tickets. I think it makes sense. It's a lot of numbers there, but we got 5 4-packs to give away. So text in the word squirrels between now and the end of the show to be entered in to win some Flying Squirrels tickets. It should be an awesome night tonight out at CarMax Park. I've been warming up. I'll be throwing out the first pitch tonight. I think I'm going to go 90 straight down the chute. That's what I'm feeling. I went to the Flying Squirrels game last night, and the guy they had to throw out the first pitch, he set the table. He threw a nice one right down the middle. So no pressure for me.
I hope rushing isn't your catcher.
I'll cross him up. I'll say, you did that to Shohei. Don't do it to me.
Shohei on a fastball, man. It's a fastball.
You gotta love it. But text in the word squirrels between now and the end of the show. Enter in to win a 4-pack of tickets for the Flying Squirrels game tonight. Los Ardias Voladores night, football night. First 2,500 fans receive a free soccer scarf.
Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk show. Don't go far.
106.1 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli at Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Info at richmondlsv.com.
Summertime in RVA means one thing. Golf season is here. If you're looking for the perfect golf course, head over to Queenfield Golf Club, located just a few minutes east of Mechanicsville. Queenfield offers a beautifully secluded 18-hole course, spacious driving range, and professionally maintained practice greens and bunkers. Schedule your tee time today by calling 804-769-8838 or reserve a spot online at queenfieldgolf.com and make Queenfield Golf Club your new favorite course.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Amber and Ian.
I was surprised that there were Steelers players who were surprised, because that was the article that we have right now on ESPN.com, where apparently inside linebacker Peyton Wilson, he admitted that he was a little shocked when he showed up to the facility and ran into Aaron Rodgers.
Last year you showed up in late June, so maybe he was surprised that it was this early.
There you go.
Not
I
that
guess.
late.
Amber and Ian, weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio. The Rich Eisen Show.
Brian Windhorst back on the program. Does Stephen A. know you're in his office?
No.
Now he does.
We were going to be doing this in the studio, but there was something wrong with the lighting. So we said, hey, do you think Stephen A. would mind? And there were 3 people, and they all kind of gave different looks. So if you see me on the street, you'll know what happened.
Understood. Brian, thanks for the time and for putting everything at risk.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. 106.1 ESPN traffic.
Expect marching delays heading north on 195 between Laburnum Avenue and Bryant Park Interchange.
There's been an accident on North 18th Street at East Marshall Street, as well as a crash on Patterson Avenue at Maybury Drive. And expect heavy traffic heading south on 95 between Bryant Park Interchange and the Lombardi Street overpass.
Local voices, local takes. Richmond's only local morning sports talk show. Fitz the Bill. Back on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Man, it's a fun Friday we got going on here on Fitz the Bill. Not only are we giving away some Flying Squirrels tickets to tonight's game, of course, it's an Ironclad Friday. So if you text in the word Ironclad too, you'll be entered in to win a $25 gift card to Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company locations in the West End, Shockoe Bottom, one out in Lynchburg. Just text in the word Ironclad. Get those texting fingers going, because if you text in the word squirrels, you'll be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets, and we've got 5 of those to give away. If you text in the word Ironclad, you'll be entered in to win a $25 gift card. We've got 1 of those to give away. Last night in the World Cup, in the group stage, the U.S. men's national team lost 3-2 at the whistle. And look, can we not overreact to this? Can we please not overreact to this? I am seeing some of the craziest takes online. Am I in the minority when I say I did not care last night whatsoever? I did not care how that game ended. You know why? Turkey was already eliminated. They were playing for pride. And the United States men's national team literally was playing just not to get hurt and not to pick up too many yellow cards before they go into the knockout stage. It's why they started their entire second team, except Weston McKennie, who was on the pitch to start in between the pipes, former Richmond kicker Matt Turner, although it was not a great night with him as he allowed 3 goals to get by him. But like, I did not care about last night's game whatsoever. It did not matter. And I do not understand why. Maybe this is my hot take, that the game did not matter. They won the group. And after the first 2 games, Alan, all the discussion was, man, could this team win the World Cup? Oh my goodness, this is a good team. They might be able to win a couple of games in the knockout stage. Okay, well, if that's their goal, right, then they should be playing like that's their goal. Their goal isn't to win and to, they won their group stage. Let me rephrase that. Their goal shouldn't be to go undefeated in the group stage. Their goal should be to win the group stage and make it as far as humanly possible. And how do you do that? You do that by resting your players in a game that does not matter, in a World Cup that is going to have more wear and tear as you go along, because it is a expanded field and is the largest World Cup field we've ever had. So there are more games and there is more wear and tear. Take the rest when you can. And they lost. So what? They still won the group. They're still playing Bosnia-Herzegovina in the first game of the knockout stage. Then guess what? Looks like they'll either play Egypt or South Korea in the second game. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with how that broke out. Can we not overreact to that game last night?
Well, it wouldn't be America if we didn't overreact. I mean, that's what we do, right?
You're
Especially when you got all this hype behind it and everybody's thinking that, we're going to be world beaters and things like that. I'm with you. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. I mean, they were playing for history, of course. However, we didn't play our starters. And guess what, guys? We're not a deep team.
Exactly. Everyone's saying like, oh, well, our backups couldn't get it done. I don't know what this means about our World Cup chances.
As we stated,
we're not France.
Yeah, as we've stated many times, the striker, the gentleman up front, and Pulisic, or however you say his name, I keep messing it up, are the 2 key components. We've shown we can win a game without one of them, and that even that win without one of them was a little nervy at times, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because when we don't keep possession, we have some struggles. I don't know what people expected when they were both on the bench.
I really, exactly. And also, I know Turkey had a disappointing first 2 games in the group stage, but they came in as the second favorites to win the group, right behind America.
They have expectations, and apparently they're going to have some reprimands when they get home, according to the broadcast, which is really weird that they kept calling that out. And they're playing tough and make it easier for them when they get back home. Like, what?
Okay, that's a little.
Yeah, I was like, what?
What's going to happen when they get home?
I don't know. I thought we had moved past that as a society.
I guess I should say, technically, it's not pronounced turkey.
It's Turk-K-I or Turkey-Kai or something. I looked it up yesterday. I forgot. But they were pronouncing it the proper way.
Turkey-A.
Yeah, Turkey-A. There we go.
Turkey-A.
Yeah, they were saying that on the broadcast. I looked it up yesterday for Matt as well.
Yeah, I apologize that I've been pronouncing it like the poultry.
I mean, that's how everybody else has been saying it too.
Turkey-A. It's funny when we decide what nations we want to call by their actual names. Like Turkey-A, we want to call it Turkey-A. But the Ivory Coast, we won't call it Cote d'Ivoire. We'll call it the Ivory Coast. But we won't call it.
Trying to say.
It's just funny that we pick and choose which nations we want to respect with it all. I digress.
And ultimately in the game yesterday, it was 2-2, and they gave up one at the very, very end. And I'm okay with it.
Exactly. And they beat us, so I'll call them Turkey-A. If we had won, I'd call them Turkey. Let's just face it.
I mean, Bosnia already said they can't wait to send us back to wherever from whence we've came.
If we can just get an early one on Bosnia, I feel really fine. If it's a close one that goes the distance, I'm going to be really worried because they are a big physical team that's going to push around us. They're going to try and push us around. It's going to take some of our enforcers, quote unquote, in the middle, but we don't have a ton of like enforcers in the way that I think Bosnia has some enforcers.
Yeah, because last night they were remember what we talked about the day before when I was like, yeah, you want to kind of check the temperature of the game before you put him in just to make sure he doesn't get hurt. And of course they started out super physical, and I was like, yeah, it's a good thing they didn't put him in.
Maybe a good thing they didn't start him. And then he did come on late. He nearly had what would have been the go-ahead goal at the time, but his foot slipped, and I got a little nervous when I saw his foot slip on the grass, and I was like, uh-oh.
No, it's not football.
That's true. They got real grass, so everything's fine over there.
You don't see a lot of non-contact injuries in soccer.
You don't see a lot of ACL tears either.
No, because they got actual
real
grass and they train differently and lift differently and stretch differently.
Crazy.
Modern.
Maybe an NFL team should go and figure out how soccer teams are doing it and then implement that for their team.
It's really not a crazy concept, and it's really how they work out.
Yeah.
A lot of NFL players target the big muscles and don't target anything else.
Same with NBA players. They're targeting the wrong things, which is why we see a rise in calf strains and torn Achilles. They're not targeting the right things to help with sudden explosive movement. But I digress.
So it looks like we've got some clarity on our third place teams and things like that. Did you see anybody in the third place teams that might sneak up on people in the knockout stages?
No, do you?
No, I didn't either. That's why I was asking you. Maybe I'm being a pessimist.
I thought you were like trying to get me to tee it up for you.
No, I was being a pessimist.
Looking at our portion of the bracket too, I feel pretty good about where we're at. Like maybe I'm feeling a little too good, but like it's a nice little draw for the first two games we've got between Bosnia, Herzegovina. And as it stands now, these aren't clinched. They're not locked in, but it's Egypt, Korea would be the team that we play in the next round, in the round of 16. If we won that and made it to the quarterfinal, we would be playing either Portugal, Ghana, Spain, or Austria. Again, I don't think that those are two good teams in Spain and Portugal, but they've also had two eggs on their face already in the World Cup.
We're gonna get smoked by Spain.
I don't know. Cape Verde kept it nil.
Your mall's gonna dribble through everybody.
If we cannot perform better than Cape Verde,
I'm very concerned. Like,
let me have it. Let me have it.
That's the one team I don't want to. Because there's gonna be too many highlights.
Let me have it. And that's the other thing. Like the loss last night did not impact who we're playing in the next round whatsoever. So like last night literally did not matter.
Yeah, you're playing for pride and history, right? The ability to tell your grandkids and
we went
people,
undefeated in the group stage. You know what you can tell your grandkids instead? We won the group stage in 2 games.
Yeah, but being the first to go undefeated would have been good too.
Sure. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not.
You won the group.
I'm not gonna come in the locker room and throw a cooler and kick the whiteboard down or something like that. I ain't gonna go that crazy.
That's valid.
And I know Pochettino does not care.
Yeah. He had a nice little quote after the game. We'll get to that in News or Snooze coming up next. Text in squirrels to be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets to tonight's game. Tonight's game is football night. The squirrels will be wearing their Las Ardias Voladores alternate jerseys. They're awesome jerseys. If you haven't seen it, they're bright blue, bright green. And it's part of Hispanic Heritage Month as well over there at CarMax Park. So heck, come on out to the game. Tickets start as low as $10, squirrelsbaseball.com. Come on by. We'll be on the main concourse right inside the main gates. Come on by, say hi. We might have some Fitz the Bill stickers, some Fitz the Bill hats that we might be giving away. I'll be throwing out the first pitch as well. So come see me just absolutely smoke one right down the middle. And you can also text in the word squirrels between now and the end of the show. Enter in to win a 4-pack of tickets. We've got 5 of those to give away. So text in, and your odds of winning, well, it's a little bit better than texting in to win a $25 gift card to Ironclad. If you want to do that, we're giving 1 of those away. So just text in the word Ironclad, and you'll be entered in to win. Let's get a quick break in. News or snooze coming up next.
Richmond's only local morning sports show. Fitz the Bill. Back soon.
1061 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you suffering from a sports injury, chronic pain, or something that just plain hurts? Ortho Virginia can help get you on the road to recovery. As the state's largest provider of orthopedic care, Ortho Virginia's team of specialists offers surgical and non-surgical treatment options. With 12 offices conveniently located in the Richmond area, visit orthovirginia.com or call 804-915-1910 to discover why at Ortho Virginia, stronger starts here.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's 2 things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Rich Eisen Show.
We have some breaking news out of Cleveland Browns camp.
Here it comes. And my eyes see.
Breaking news.
Dylan Gabriel's wearing number 6. Oh, rocking the look he has to have because somebody took his number.
Told you, it's like Friday, man. He Debo'd that. Debo took Red's bike. Verse took Gabriel's number.
Just took it.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
106.1 ESPN weather.
Expecting overcast skies in the morning with some heavy thunderstorms later this afternoon that could bring some flash flooding. Highs reaching 93 degrees with lows tonight dropping down to 71.
Mornings in Richmond start here. Fitz the Bill. Back now on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. News.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Or snooze.
News or snooze this morning, starting with soccer. Pochettino, almost messed his name up. Pochettino calls critics of loss petty. US 1 group.
Newsworthy.
Extra, extra, read all about
I love him going after it. He's got a little bit of that American edge to him.
We don't know any better, bro. We've never been in this situation before. In America, winning is winning.
He said it was a little bit sad that no reporters congratulated him and the U.S. players on clinching the group after winning their first 2 games. He then added that he did not understand why there were questions about the possibility of lost momentum following the last-second defeat.
Because we don't know what we're doing.
Which had already been eliminated. He said, quote, making history is winning the World Cup. It's not winning 3 matches only within the World Cup. I don't really understand. It's a little bit petty, if you will. You're thinking a little too small. You're telling me you could make history. What does it mean 3 matches if you lose the next one? I love it. I love this response from Pochettino. That's amazing.
You're from Argentina. You're in America. Like, soccer to us in relation to Argentina, it's 2 different stratospheres, man. We've never been here before.
Well, that's the funny part to me. We've never been here before, and yet we have then adapted so quickly to wanting all the success, right? We have never been here before. We have no history, and someone's going to text in and be all upset that I'm saying this. We have no history of success in soccer. We are not a successful nation in soccer,
and
right?
What we consider success is definitely laughable in Argentina.
And then the minute we taste success and we win a group, then we lose a game that does not matter. Our questions after it are like, do you think this is going to negatively impact? Do you think this is going to be a stain on the resume? And it's all negative. And it's like, yeah, that's a question you ask the Argentinians when they win. Like, that's them. And he's just like, we did what you guys wanted us to do. Now we have a chance to go even further.
Also, to be fair, after Ronaldo didn't score in his first game, people wanted him benched. So.
but what I'm saying is, like, we adjusted our expectations so much. We all came in, we're like, man, it'd be just really cool if we made it out of the group stage, because there's a chance we might not even make it out of the group stage. I just really hope we make it out of the group stage. We win the first game. I mean, that wasn't, it was against Paraguay. They're not even that good. We beat Australia. We won the group. This is awesome. Let's go. Woohoo. Turkey. We can win the World Cup. We won 2 games. Let's do this. Let's go. We're getting Pulisic back. This is going to be awesome. We lose to Turkey. Why do we suck? It's like, geez, Louise, man. We just were celebrating that we were going to win it all.
Welcome to America.
So it's so crazy how quickly we adjusted. I like Poch for going after him.
Ayuk, I'll sign with Commanders if 49ers cut me.
Snoozeworthy. Okay. All right. Cool. We're still waiting on it. I do love his social media crash out though over this week.
Could have traded him if he wasn't a crash out.
He posted 2 videos to social media on Wednesday. In the first, he holds up a football that has the Commanders logo on it. A graphic on the video says the best sport in the world, the best league in the world, and the best team in the world. The next part of his story on Instagram is a photo of himself with a graphic that says, and I almost forgot, the best wide receiver in the world. He then shares his intentions in the second Commanders related video. And then he said, quote, and if I'm crazy or if I'm capping, tell them boys, cut me today, and I'll sign with the Commanders tomorrow. He then posted another video yesterday where he said he was wearing Commanders gear and he told fans he's back in action and back on tour this fall, urging them to get tickets at the Commanders website to see him play. This is an epic crash out. I think he'll end up in Washington. I don't know how good he'll be. I don't know how much of this is real, how much of this is for the camera, how much of this is trying to force the 49ers to cut him. Because, look, the 49ers lost all their leverage. I've said it before. They lost all their leverage back when John Lynch took to the podium and said, Brandon Ayuk has played his last snap for the 49ers. He'll never play for us again. Lost all your leverage. No team's going to trade for it. And look, Ayuk, all he's got to do is show up to training camp to kick in his salary, and then immediately the 49ers are going to cut him. And that's all he's got to do. Now, does he do it? We'll see.
Yeah, I wish I was a $30 million annual value salaried employee that was being held hostage by his team. Because this is ridiculous, man. Just, I don't know. Just gives me another reason not to like receivers. It's not even about Ayuk. I just think all wide receivers are secretly like this. They're all secretly waiting to crash out. It's just a hot mess about what, man? Like, Why do we need this distraction? If you're the Commanders, I keep saying this, and I know Lake disagrees, and Lake obviously has way more insight on this than I do, but I don't want this in my locker room, man.
But what if it's all just a show?
I know, and what if it's not? You know,
I would trust that Adam Peters, the guy who drafted Ayuk,
Yeah.
and Jalen Daniels, Ayuk's best friend and college teammate, would have some additional insight into this.
Yeah, we thought
You would hope,
we
though.
thought Brady giving AB the keys to his house and hanging out with him.
That's fair.
Was keeping him sane
that's
too.
a fair rebuttal.
MLB wants maximum 5-year deals for free agents changing teams.
Snoozeworthy. And it's snoozeworthy because we are in the point where the negotiations are ongoing because they're trying to settle a new collective bargaining agreement. And the MLB and the MLB Players Association are so far off. They're going to start throwing headlines out, and you're going to see some crazy stuff. They're currently negotiating the new CBA, right? And it's set to take effect after 2027. And the core of it all, the biggest fight, is that the owners want a salary cap and the players don't want a salary cap. Because what does a salary cap do? It caps potential earnings for players. Without a salary cap, you can offer a player as much money as humanly possible, and they can accept it. When there's a salary cap, it makes it where, quote unquote, you think everyone starts making less money. The MLB, trying to kind of find a middle ground, is offering a salary cap floor in negotiations where every team has to spend at least $171.2 million. And the salary cap would be $245.3 million. The max contract for a player, they'd introduce max contracts similar to the NBA. A max contract for a player switching teams would be 5 years, $202 million. There'd be the cornerstone player provision, much like the NBA bird rights, where a team can keep their own guy for 6 years, $265 million. Players who hit 5 years of service by age 30 can become free agents. Minimum salary would jump from $780,000 to $1 million. And eliminate deferred contracts in the qualifying offer system. Players hate it. Players don't want it. And it's just going to be a massive back and forth between these two sides, the MLB and MLBPA, before they reach a CBA. Going to be a wild time.
It's going to be an interesting time.
There are some hard and fast things that both sides want and don't want, and it's going to make negotiations crazy. There's going to have to be guys bending at the knee on both sides of it. All right, let's get a break in, step aside, be back to wrap up hour number 1 here on this Friday morning.
You're tuned into Fitz the Bill. Back in a moment.
1061 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
This is advertising material.
When a doctor's mistake leaves you or someone you love seriously hurt, you need a fighter in your corner. Alexander Schnarr Trial Attorneys has been holding negligent doctors and hospitals accountable and getting families the justice they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait, alexwins.law.
This is advertising material. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George is licensed attorney in Virginia, is responsible for legal work. Office is located in Norfolk.
Tune in to the Henrico Huddle with Dennis Bickmeyer the last Wednesday of each month, afternoons on 1061 ESPN, or updates online at henricosea.com.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli. Now available for cruising in your neighborhood from Richmond LSV. Our LSVs come with a Virginia license plate, lithium battery, Bluetooth, and much more. Follow us on social media, Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Text 804-363-4351 or email info@richmondlsv.com. Fun, fully charged.
Richmond's morning sports talk. Live, local, and back on 1061 ESPN Richmond. Fitz the Bill. Powered by Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company.
All right, we got an update on our fellow degenerate, as some of you know.
Our guy who had the $1 parlay to win how much? 700?
No, 330. He probably wishes it was 700.
I mean, he wishes it. He won money. He won money.
It was a six-legger. Croatia to win, Switzerland to win, Bosnia to win, Brazil to win, Mexico to win. That was all on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, he needed Germany to win. So if you're listening to Matt's show, the Mid-Major Matt show, I did give an update. He just needed Germany to win. Germany was up 1-0 when I gave the update. They ended up losing 2-1. But
you hate to see it.
Like any smart gambler, he paid attention and he cashed out and won $76.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad for a $1 bet.
$1 bet.
I'm telling you.
Let's give him a hand.
No, seriously. Like, I applaud that. People will probably be like, well, it's just $76. Yeah, but it's 76 times what he put in.
It's 76 more dollars than he had before.
Right?
You know what you can give with $76?
75 more. But yeah.
Yeah, 75 more dollars. You know what you can get with that? You can get a nice dinner at Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go to Ironclad and get a lot of coffee.
Or he could be a real degenerate, take that 76 and flip it.
Yeah, I mean, he could go all in on America to win it all.
There's games in, let's not be crazy. Let's not be crazy.
Let's
not be Sorsby.
I'm really upset, though, because last night, Turkey was like plus 255 to win, and I was highly contemplating.
You cannot do that.
I was highly contemplating.
That is a party foul.
Highly contemplating.
That is a party foul.
Turkey.
That is a party foul.
Turkey.
That is a party foul.
Look, we have nothing to play for.
No, I don't care. You can't bet against the boys, man. I'm going to say it again. Sorsby.
If his money is money.
Oh, my God. That's a party foul. That's bad juju.
I don't know.
That's bad juju.
If my juju's the one that brings down them, it ain't worth it.
No, I'm not going to lie. The easiest people to fade are the ones that you know.
Dang right it is. Dang right it is.
Yeah, man.
That's how I made so much money.
That's why
I didn't fade Charlotte FC, but when I was, not to get onto a whole betting side tangent, but you can make a lot of money in soccer betting. Not as much the World Cup, but like MLS betting, you can make a good amount of money because if you watch a team and you know a team and like their trends and their tactics and stuff, I would get anytime goal scorers for like 10-1 odds, and it'd be guys who like averaged 4 shots a game. And it's like, is he going to score? I don't know, but that value is so good.
It's worth the risk.
Ended up paying for my Xbox One with some MLS
Hey, man,
bets.
look, best run I ever had was when Iceland was doing their takeover of like the Euro nations.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Like every time they scored, Sigurdsson, I think, was my guy. Yeah, we getting 8-1 odds, and he was just killing them.
We'll throw it anytime goal score bet.
Like,
First time goal score.
Well, and they were scoring multiple goals, so it's like, all right, they score 1 goal, you get even better odds. Like, they're not going to do it again.
And it's also like, I did this with the Iran game a couple of days ago when Belgium went down to 10 men. Iran needed to win, blah, blah, blah. I just went in and it was 0-0, and first goal scorer props were so valuable for Iran. I just placed 3 first-time goal scorers because if any of them had scored, it would have paid out $100+. And I was like, that's better than me betting on Iran to win.
Yeah.
I can bet on them to score. Just to peek into the mind of what I'm doing when it's 4 p.m. I'm doing prep for the show, and I'm like, let me just throw a couple bucks down on these games.
And in this day and age of people making silly parlays and giving the money back, my guy stole $76.
Yeah, good for the texter. Good for the texter. Smart to cash out from the Fitz school of cashing out. I love it.
We won't put Germany on the no bet list for that, although it does make you side eye them.
It does, but they were playing in a similar situation as America. They had already clinched. They were good to go.
German media is not crashing out.
Yeah, man. we should take a
because
page
they've
out
been
of
there before.
Sure. We should act like
we have a standard in America, man.
Which is complaining.
It's true.
Text in the word squirrels between now and the end of the show, 10 a.m. Get entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets to tonight's game. First pitch is at 7:05 tonight. First 2,500 fans receive a free soccer scarf for Las Ordias Voladores night. Should be an awesome time out at CarMax Park. We'll be out there pregame. Come on by, say hi. I'll be throwing out the first pitch. Come see me either look awesome throwing out a first pitch or utterly humiliate myself. We'll see how that one goes. I think that first pitch is around like 6:45, 6:50 or so. But if you text in the word squirrels, you'll be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets. We've got 5 of those to give away. If you don't win, it's all right because tickets start for as low as $10 on squirrelsbaseball.com. But text in the word squirrels between now and the end of the show. Enter in to win a 4-pack of tickets.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
RVA has the international soccer fever, and the perfect spot to catch every match and enjoy great food is at La Playa Mexican Restaurant. Plenty of high-def, big-screen TVs showing every tournament game, with daily happy hour specialty drinks and chef-inspired menu specials. La Playa is a dining experience where the rich culinary traditions of Mexico meet the freshest seafood served daily. 2617 West Broad Street in the Fan. Dine in or order online at LaPlayaRVA.com and let the games begin.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Well, you know who's the biggest winner, not named Patrick Mahomes? Texas Tech Athletics and the NIL.
Yes, they are.
Because of the kind of money that he got and that he and Brittany contribute to NIL. Kirby Hogan, the athletic director, goes, oh, he got his own money, which means we got our money.
You know, Texas Tech, they could use a win right about now.
Exactly.
They could use a win right about now.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round.
W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond.
We are 106.1 ESPN.
You're listening to the second hour of Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN.
Welcome in hour number 2 of Fitz the Bill right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Appreciate you clocking in, making us part of your morning. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as we do each and every morning. Just type in ESPN Richmond. We should pop right on up, and you can like, comment, subscribe, be part of the show. You can be part of the show here in hour number 2 by calling or texting in to the Radkey Insurance phone line, 804-327-0888, radkeyinsurance.com to get started on your free quote today. It's Hot Take Friday, so call, text in with your hot takes. We'll be getting a lot off of our chest here in hour number 2. 9:30, Pat Jaggers. He'll be stopping on by from the Motor Racing Network. We'll break down what happened in San Diego, look ahead to Sonoma, and the in-season challenge begins this weekend. So we'll talk about what that means for NASCAR and the expectations for it heading into the second year of the in-season challenge. And it's a Friday where we are giving away a ton of stuff. We just talked about the Squirrels tickets we're giving away. Just text in the word Squirrels right now, 804-327-0888. Between now and the end of the show, you'll be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets. You also text in the word Ironclad, of course. It's an Ironclad Friday. Text in the word Ironclad to 804-327-0888. Wouldn't it be funny if it was a different phone number you had to text into for Ironclad? And that'd be real confusing. No, but it's the same one. Ironclad, just text that in, enter in to win a $25 gift card. They've got some of the best coffee, some of the best baked goods in RVA. They've got a location in Shockoe Bottom. They've got a location in the West End. They've even got a location out in Lynchburg if you ever find your way out there. Baked in-house, some delicious stuff. The whole team over there is absolutely awesome. They've got some of my favorite coffee drinks here in Richmond. Check them out, and you can check them out with a $25 gift card. Just text in the word Ironclad. Between now and the end of the show, we are giving away one $25 gift card to Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company this Friday morning. I want to kick off hour number 2 where we began hour number 1 because, look, there's been There's been 2 headline marquee trades, the type that you put up on the signage out front of your store. LaMelo to the Wolves, Giannis to the Heat, right? There's been a third kind of secondary trade that I think has a lot of interesting dynamics to it. It's Isaiah Stewart to the Grizzlies, just because Stewart, he's a good sixth man, a good backup big, and Memphis, they're making a lot of interesting moves right now. They're a team that, like, the Windy fingers, right? The Brian Windhorst fingers, like, what are they doing over there? Jaren Jackson Jr. was a really good big that you traded away. Now you've traded for Isaiah Stewart and you drafted Cam Boozer. There's rumors that you're just going to buy out John Morant. What's happening in Memphis? So that's kind of a secondary trade. But LaMelo to the Wolves, Giannis to the Heat. LaMelo is traded. I think, look, I don't agree with it. I said earlier, now number one, right? I give both teams an F for this trade. However, I do think Charlotte got a pretty darn good haul for LaMelo. They get an unprotected first in 2033. I got to get used to saying 30 instead of 20 because the NBA can trade picks out so far in the future. The Hornets also get pick swaps with the Timberwolves in 28, 29, and 30, which means the Hornets get the better of their pick or the Timberwolves pick. So say the Timberwolves are picking 5 and the Hornets are picking 8. They will swap those picks and the Timberwolves will pick 8 and the Hornets would pick 5. So, essentially, Charlotte owns Minnesota's first round picks in 4 of the next, 7 years? Yeah, 7 years. I had to do quick mental math on that one. I think that's a pretty good haul. I don't agree with it, but it's a good haul. I gotta be objective there. Giannis to the Heat. We talked about it briefly when it happened earlier this week when Darian Williams was in. We did the NFL team draft that day. It was a fun day. Bucks sent Giannis and Bobby Portis to Miami, and Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparis Jakuchunias at 3 first-round picks, a pick swap, and a second-rounder all went to Milwaukee. And after 13 years with the Bucks, the Greek Freak is headed to South Beach. That's right, 13 years. 2 back-to-back years where he was struggling with some serious injuries. A lot of years where he was dealing with injuries in the playoffs. I'm worried that Giannis to the Heat is just not going to work out the way they think it will. And similar to the LaMelo Ball trade, right? The Heat have mortgaged their future on this. This has to work. Same with the Timberwolves. This has to work with LaMelo because the Timberwolves don't own their draft picks 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. They do own it in 32 and then don't in 2033. And for the Heat, kind of a similar situation. And now with Giannis and Bam, they're going to have one of the best front court pairings in the NBA. But the offense is going to be really, really interesting because they don't really have a shooter. The offense outside of 6 feet is going to be tough to come by. And I just don't think they can be that good. Brian Windhorst, he talked about that on Unsportsmanlike yesterday on just how good the Miami Heat can be in the 2026-27 season.
I have no doubt that they will build this roster up into a team around Giannis that will be a serious contender. But I don't know if they can do it now because the mechanisms that are in the league now did not exist when they've done it. So I think I would say this: schedule watching Giannis play for the Heat and get excited about it, but don't worry about planning for May or June, probably until 28 as opposed to 27.
I think Windhorst nails it on the head. Eventually they'll may be able to build around them. But then there's also the fact that Alan, he's old. Giannis is old. He's not a spring chicken anymore.
He's what, 31?
He's been in the league for 13 years. He's a big man. When big men get up in the age and the
he's
injuries,
31.
But when the years start racking up a little bit on a big man, and you know what the best indicator for future calf strains are? The injury that he dealt with on and off this last 2 years. Best indicator for a future calf strain is if you've had a calf strain. And you know what a calf strain typically leads to in worst case scenario? An Achilles. There's a lot of red flags around Giannis, and Miami just plowed through all of them with this trade.
Yeah, it's It's aggressive. That's what it is. And again, I think we're becoming prisoners of the moment. I would hope that in both the Hornets case, the Timberwolves case, and the Heat's case, these are not trades that they consider to be final products. It's the first piece of something else. Yeah.
For Miami, I don't know how they get any more pieces. You've got a ton of money tied up in Bam and Giannis. You have no more assets to trade.
They have to draft well. And
you don't own any of your draft picks.
And hope that you get these vets that, like we don't have many Joe Johnsons and Jamal Crawfords lying around or Sean Livingston or somebody like an Andre Iguodala,
Ray Allen,
like these guys who were role players, knew their roles and willing to play on teams and fit that role to elevate that team. We don't have a lot of those guys left anymore. But I would imagine that, they've got some kind of a plan, and it needs to be shooters revolved around it. Like maybe they need to find out if Duncan Robinson will come back.
They need to keep Norman Powell in that building.
Yeah, they definitely need to keep Norman Powell
because he can sign another deal somewhere else, and he's going to be highly sought after because he is a good shooter. And so Miami's going to have to find a way to make it work. And if they lose Norman Powell, oh buddy, that's going to be a bad offense next year.
I like Spo. I'm high on Spo as a coach, so I have faith that if they give him the tools, he will make it work because he's made it work with less. And so this will be another challenging situation roster-wise, but I would rather be challenged with a Bam and Giannis than the no Jimmy, no Bam lineup that he had to work with on many occasions. So I'm sure he'll figure it out.
What will be interesting is like Chris Middleton's an unrestricted free agent this offseason.
Yeah, somebody like
Does Middleton want to come team back up with
somebody
Giannis,
like that?
Take the veterans minimum and do it. There's a couple of other. Tobias Harris is an unrestricted free agent. I know I know you hate Tobias.
We were talking about assets.
He did have a good playoff run. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
He's an asset without the ets. That's what he is. So.
Ooh, yeah, you can't say that one.
Yeah, exactly. So don't go get him.
I'm just saying
don't go get him.
He's out there. LeBron, go out and get LeBron. Bring him back to Miami.
Is he welcome back in Miami?
I feel like it. They buried the hatchet, him and Pat Riley.
You sure Pat don't seem like the type to bury a hatchet?
Pat Riley scares me. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I feel like he's connected. I feel like he's got mob ties. Pat Riley scares me.
Pat Riley's just who he is, man. He an OG.
Maybe Kristaps Porzingis, if he can start hitting threes at a consistent rate.
I think the Warriors want to keep him.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They just signed Al Horford to a 2-year 2 year.
Can we pause for a minute here?
Who are you negotiating against that you had to tack on an extra year?
When that team came out, Horford, Noah, and Brewer. Who would have thought Horford would still be playing to this day, man? To this day.
Not being terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a key contributor on that Celtics championship team.
And I thought, even when they came out, I thought he was going to be the better of the three. But, like, the longevity on that, man, is insane.
It's so funny.
He needs to be applauded.
When did Joakim Noah retire and Corey Brewer had a
He didn't even retire. He just basically got phased out the league. Noah retired. Man, he hated LeBron, in the mid-2000s?
Oh, man, that's goodness gracious.
So he probably retired in, 2018 or something like that?
Maybe.
I'll look it up, man.
God, you're right. Who would have thought that Al Horford would still be in the league? And signing 2-year extension.
His last NBA game was September 13, 2020.
You know who's a shocking player that's still around, speaking of that Bulls team? Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
Taj Gibson has still
another guy where I'm just like, yo,
he's still on rosters.
He's still here.
He's like the Udonis Haslem, where he's just like, but instead of being on one team for his entire career, he's just like the veteran mercenary that you're like, hey, we got some young guys we need you to coach up. You might get a minute here and there. And he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And that's another insane callback too. Taj Gibson.
He came up on my screen the other day when I was watching TV, and I was like, it was like a jump scare. I was like, he's still around. Yeah. Crazy. That Bulls team.
I don't even know if we can count that 2020 game
with Joakim Noah.
Yeah, or we count it as a season. I think I'm gonna say he stopped playing in 2019.
What month was it? Do you have a month?
It was September. So yeah, it was final NBA game on September 13, 2020. So it was probably like a preseason game or something.
No, that would have been COVID. Was that the bubble?
Was that the bubble? I don't know.
When did they do? Man, COVID times. My brain is mush when it comes to
You're
all
right.
those
I
years.
forgot all about that.
Yeah, that'd be
bubble.
COVID.
I didn't even process the year 2020
that'd be
as the
bubble.
bubble.
Yeah, that'd be the bubble.
That's crazy. Yeah, it was. It was a Western Conference semifinal game against the Nuggets.
Who was he playing?
He logged 1 minute of playing time.
Who was he for?
Let's see. The Clippers.
Really?
Yeah.
You learn.
What a time.
Come to Fitz the Bill each and every morning to learn something new. I had no clue.
I'm so sorry for taking us down that random avenue.
I appreciate it, actually, because if you had told, that's a good piece of trivia. Who was Joakim Noah's final team he played for? The Los Angeles Clippers.
No, when somebody says
All
September 2020, the first thing we're going to think of is like, he's playing basketball in 2020 in September.
Joakim Noah's last game happened that year. Oh, wow, crazy. Yeah, when they say September 2020, that's the first thing I'm going to think of. Nothing else.
COVID.
That's it.
COVID was a wild time.
It was so wild. It got Joakim Noah out of retirement to play a minute in a bubble. All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. Say what coming up next. And it's got to do with that quarterback list Matt Josephs and I did yesterday. So I want to hear it. I want to hear what you agree with, what you disagree with. That's coming up next.
You're with Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond this morning. Short break coming up.
106.1 ESPN on-air interviews presented by the Herman Allen Plumbing Heating and Cooling Hotline with Lennox products that make the air in your home absolutely perfect.
Looking for the perfect golf course? Check out RVA's best-kept secret, Queenfield Golf Club, just a few minutes past Mechanicsville. Reserve your tee time today at queenfieldgolf.com.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli. Now available for cruising in your neighborhood from Richmond LSV. Our LSVs come with a Virginia license plate, lithium battery, Bluetooth, and much more. Follow us on social media, Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Text 804-363-4351 or email info@richmondlsv.com. Fun, fully charged.
This is advertising material.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait, alexwins.law.
This is advertising material. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George's licensed attorney in Virginia is responsible for legal work. Office is located in Norfolk.
You're listening to Fitz the Bill, Richmond's morning sports talk show on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
What are you saying? Excuse me? What? Excuse me?
What? Say what? What the are you saying?
I mean, once again, you're going to think I'm crazy, but well, under your parameters, number 8's Aaron Rodgers for me. You said one more year. Like, I think it's funny, and I know the nerd numbers probably hate what he did last year, but once again, like, so I see that, and I see 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions with an offense that literally had nothing. And what offensive coordinator did, like, it was Arthur Smith last year. Arthur Smith was horrendous in Atlanta. So, like, what is he going to do with Arthur Smith? And I get it, he was bad in the postseason, so you can throw my thing back at me, but if you told me under these parameters, and he would be lower if we were doing just like ranking quarterbacks, 1 year team to get to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, even at 42, I think at least gets me to the playoffs. And who knows, because I love Aaron Rodgers.
Ranking Aaron Rodgers anywhere near the top 10 is blasphemous. You can hit that again. You can hit that for the rest of the show. My goodness. Say what, Matt? I was in the room when it happened. You ever watch Hamilton?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's a good play. I was in the room when it happened, and even in real time, I said, "What? Huh? Who are we talking? We're talking about the same Aaron Rodgers? Same Aaron Rodgers that's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL ever since his last season with the Green Bay Packers. Achilles or no Achilles, he has been downright abysmal." And to add on a little bit to it, Baker Mayfield at 9 as well. We just wasted 20% of the top 10 with 2 trash quarterbacks. I did not get it. For just for transparency's sake, here was my top 10, right? 10 was Justin Herbert, 9 was Caleb Williams, 8 was Jaden Daniels, 7 was Dak Prescott, 6 was Matthew Stafford, 5 was Jordan Love, 4 was Joe Burrow, 3 was Patrick Mahomes, 2 was Lamar Jackson, and number 1 was Josh Allen. I think my top 10 is like pretty darn good. I don't think there's any mistakes in there. Dan Orlovsky was on Get Up earlier today, and he was saying that if you don't have Jalen Hurts in your top 10, that's silly. And I think it's silly if you do have Jalen Hurts in your top 10, because if you got to put him in the top 10, who are you taking out? And I know what Alan's going to say. You're taking out Justin Herbert.
No, I don't know,
but
man.
I love Justin Herbert.
The criteria is always going to decide how we pick people. And I don't know, Bruce was upset that Super Bowl winning quarterbacks were left out of top 10s and things like that. But like if we're evaluating quarterback play, I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be in my top 10 if we're evaluating the play of the quarterback, especially if we're factoring in last year's play. Like if last year hadn't happened and you were coming off of that Super Bowl MVP year, then he probably would crack the bottom part of my top 10. But him, like how he played last year, just was not top 10 worthy in my opinion. So I didn't have a problem with you guys leaving him off.
I put Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, a Super Bowl winning quarterback too. He was 15th. Jalen Hurts was 14th.
And I thought you guys rated Darnold a little too low based on the fact that since his Vikings starting days.
So since 2024, the last 2 seasons, he's been a full-time starter.
Insanely good.
Yeah, but my issue with Sam Darnold is the fact that he is 2 different quarterbacks. He's Jekyll and Hyde. Like
he saw the ghost with the blitz.
When he's pressure, when he's kept clean, he's one of the best QBs in the league. 0.332 EPA per play. That is amazing. When he's pressured, that drops all the way to negative 0.316, which is one of the worst marks among qualifying quarterbacks. Just a huge swing when he is pressured. And that's the issue. If you can get pressure to Sam Darnold, he becomes a different guy. He also turns the ball over a little bit. But I'll say this. He has proved it. He's been a top-end starter for 2 years. He's got some of the best adjusted EPA metrics over that time frame.
I would have had him in anywhere between 11 and 13, because I feel like if he gives you one more good year, you got to put him in the top 10 and take him for who he is.
And that was the thing here, because the parameters were you're starting a franchise tomorrow and you've got to win a Super Bowl as fast as humanly possible. You are on the hot seat the second you start this. Drake May, I feel more comfortable with because I think he's got a better arm and he's got some better decision making. Brock Purdy, the advanced metrics love him. And as a nerd numbers guy, I've got to respect that. Over the last 3 years, Brock Purdy has the best adjusted EPA per play in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence was 13 for me. Now, could I put Sam Darnold up at 14? Sure. And that's where Jalen Hurts is. But Jalen Hurts, the fact that he's able to run the tush push and he's got all of that at his disposal does help him out a little bit. But the thing with Jalen Hurts, and these are why Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold, 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, are at the tail end of my top 15. It's for simple reasons, right? Sam Darnold is a different quarterback when he is pressured. Jalen Hurts is a different quarterback when he is asked to throw it between the numbers. Hurts throws outside the numbers 12.6 times more often than between the numbers. Between the 2024 and 2025 regular season, he had 680 attempts outside the numbers, 54 attempts between the numbers, and he is much better when he throws it outside the numbers. And he's going to have to then adjust his game this season, and that's going to be a huge thing for Jalen Hurts. And that's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah, and again, I'm not mounting a defense for Jalen Hurts, man, in his play or throughout his career. Yeah. He's won games. He's got a Super Bowl.
Made it to another.
He's got a Super Bowl MVP. I respect all of that and his body of work. But if we're evaluating the play of quarterback, the play of the quarterback position, he's going to be towards the bottom of the top 10. And in most people's cases, probably not make the top 10. And I don't think that's a disservice to him. And I can't stand when we're factoring in quarterbacks and talking about the play of the position that we give this goofy bump to an intangible like winning games. I mean, some of that's
winning is not a quarterback stat.
Yeah, some of that's out of the quarterback's control. Sometimes people win, like you guys say, in spite of or with and for. But how does he pass? How does he manage the game? Is he a big playmaker? Does he lead the team when necessary? Does he elevate the play of the guys around him and things like that? And Hurts has flashed many times that he can, but it hasn't been consistent enough for people to get up in arms when he's either at the bottom of the top 10 or not in the top 10.
It's something too that like, it's like winning is such a fickle stat that like sample size matter. So many things matter in football. You're playing a game with a weird shaped ball that's going to take weird bounces. Sometimes you're not going to win a game that you should win. Like, it's why I hate it when people are like, Lamar Jackson can't win in the postseason. Well, except for the time he threw an absolute dot to Zay Flowers, who dropped it on the 1 yard line.
The game that he lost against the Titans, he accounted for over 500 yards of their offense through the air and on the ground, and he still lost.
It's like,
it wasn't his fault.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson can't win in the playoffs, except for the time that he put it right where Mark Andrews needed it to be so that they could get the 2-point conversion, and Mark Andrews dropped it.
Yeah,
totally.
And he's had some stinkers, but everybody has, except for Mahomes in some case. But even Mahomes in his Super Bowl, when
he's had 2 stinkers.
When Tom Brady beat him, and when the Eagles beat him, it was clear that his offensive line was at a huge disadvantage, and they got pressure on him, and he looked vulnerable. Yes. He looked below average, right? That happens.
It's so fun. And people are like, well, I can't put Lamar all that high because he just does not perform in the postseason. Yeah, but what if I told you from 2018 to 2024, he was the number 1 rated quarterback in terms of passer rating, 106.1. He threw for over 10,000 yards, 82 touchdowns, 18 interceptions from inside the pocket from 2018 to 2024. And you might be asking, why are you focusing on in the pocket? Because we all agree that Lamar Jackson is the most dynamic quarterback when it comes to using his legs we have ever seen. Look, I include Michael Vick in that too. Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson can pass the football at a higher clip than Michael Vick could. So there has to be some respect to passing the football so he can really make you pay with his legs. So not only is he the best quarterback with his legs that we've ever seen, he's also the best pocket passer from 2018 to 2024. I threw out last season because he was hurt for most of it, and that impacted his game. But when he was healthy from 2018 to 2024, best quarterback from the pocket in the NFL. And that right there, full stop. I don't want to hear it about his postseason shortcomings. That is my least favorite thing when it comes to Lamar Jackson. Those postseason shortcomings. I threw Josh Allen at 1 because Lamar did have the injuries last year. And so that is something I'm monitoring. Patrick Mahomes, of course, had the injuries. How does he come back from that? Which is why last year I had Mahomes at 1. He drops to 3. Josh Allen, just by being healthy, has worked his way up to number 1. Lamar stays put at number 2 in comparison to last year's top 10. Because Lamar, I'm waiting on him with these injuries, but I really wanted to put Lamar Jackson number 1. I think when healthy, Lamar is the best quarterback in the NFL. I full stop, argue with the wall. I feel like he's so good. But Burrow was 4, nothing crazy there. I love Jordan Love. The advanced metrics love Jordan Love. I've got him at 5. Stafford, if he can stay healthy, he is going to be one of the best quarterbacks again in the league. He led the league in passing yards last year with 4,707, 46 tutties, 8 picks, reigning MVP. Need we say more? Dak Prescott, this one always gets people riled up. It's because they don't watch Dak Prescott. He is so good as the quarterback. He is the conductor of one of the best and most efficient offenses in the NFL. Has had injuries every now and then. But Dak was top 5 last year in PFF offensive grade and QBR. And all the old school stats he was top 5 in, yards, passing touchdowns. Dak Prescott is a darn good quarterback. And if you told me he was my starting quarterback, I would be head over heels. I think the Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl last year if Dak Prescott is their quarterback too. They probably would have had a more efficient and better offense if Dak was the quarterback. So I've got Dak at 7, Jaden at 8, Caleb Williams at 9, and Justin Herbert at 10. All right, let's get a quick break in. Step aside. Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network will be joining us on the other side of the break. Before we do that, text in the word squirrels, 804-327-0888. Be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets to tonight's game. It's football night at CarMax Park. Los Ardillas Voladores jerseys will be on full display, and the first 2,500 fans will receive a free soccer scarf. Anthony Opperman, the GM of the Flying Squirrels, he came into the studio yesterday. We chatted a little bit in the first segment of the second hour. If you want to go back and watch that, it's up over on the ESPN Richmond YouTube under the live tab. You can watch yesterday's show. He gave us a nice soccer scarf, though. We've got it hanging up in the studio. Looks pretty nice. First 2,500 fans get one. If you don't win our ticket giveaway, don't worry. Tickets start for as low as $10. Go to squirrelsbaseball.com to snag one of those tickets. And come on by, say hi. We'll be out there pregame, some Fitz the Bill stickers, maybe a Fitz the Bill hat or two that we'll be giving away. So come on by, say hi. We cannot wait. I'll be throwing out the first pitch. I'm starting to get my shoulder warmed up now. So text in the word squirrels to be entered in to win. You can also text in the word Ironclad to win a $25 gift card to Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company.
You're listening to Fitz the Bill. Don't touch that dial.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli. Now available for cruising in your neighborhood from Richmond LSV. Our LSVs come with a Virginia license plate, lithium battery, Bluetooth, and much more. Follow us on social media, Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Text 804-363-4351 or email info@richmondlsv.com. Fun, fully charged.
At East Coast Appliance, we love to save our customers money, and right now it's the biggest 4th of July sale ever at East Coast Appliance. Save up to 50% off new appliances store-wide. Special offers on dishwashers and laundry pairs, and limited time 0% financing you won't want to miss. Always same day or next day delivery and install available. Shop by phone, video chat, online, or in our stores. The 4th of July sale is on now at East Coast Appliance. The best price or it's free. At East Coast Appliance, we used to shop all over town to make sure you were getting the best price. Now we use AI to make the process easier and a whole lot faster. We have electronic price tags on all of our appliances that scan our competitors' prices and then check our prices to make sure we're lower. We take our best price guarantee seriously, and this helps to save our customers time and money. So if you're in the market for a new appliance, just stop by your local East Coast Appliance superstore and see for yourself. East Coast Appliance, the best price or it's free.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're tuned into Fitz the Bill, Richmond's only local morning sports talk show on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Powered by Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company. And now, Pat Jaggers.
Back in Fitz the Bill, Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network joining us on this Friday morning. Pat, how we doing on this Friday?
We're good. I wish the U.S. men's national team was doing as good as I am this morning, but that's neither here or there. Very curious to hear what the reaction was from the ESPN Richmond listeners if they had thoughts this morning. But regardless, we're off to Sonoma. We're going to have a great weekend and hopefully a better weekend than what the old boys in the red, white, and blue did last night.
Hey, man, I did not I did not care. I know that might sound like anti-American or whatever. I did not care that we lost last night. We won the group, man. I was basking in the group win. I'm excited to beat up on Bosnia-Herzegovina. I got to first learn where that is on the map, and then I can start rubbing it in their face when we beat them.
I had one thing that stood out to me, and I've been saying this since the tournament began. Christian Pulisic gets all this love. They bring him off the bench last night. They bring in Dest, Tillman. They bring in all these other guys, and if it's a scheduled loss, let it be a scheduled loss. If you're resting these guys, getting them ready for the elimination round, rest them. I didn't really understand bringing a bunch of starters late in the game to try to win a game that didn't matter. I didn't really understand that. I hate losing. I hate when teams lose momentum when they have all of it. But the good thing is the guys that have played elite for them didn't play last night. And the two best players on the team right now, in my opinion, Will Balogun and Chris Richards, did not play.
Yeah.
And it was evident. And, I think that when you look at it, Christian Pulisic gets all this love. But at the end of the day, if the U.S. men's national team is going to go far, it's going to be how far this defense takes them. And Chris Richards is an elite, in my opinion, elite defender, a well-rounded defender in the Premier League for Crystal Palace. And it shows when he's not out there. And last night it was evident. And the fall off between the starters and the bench, I think the general public has now finally seen it's drastic with this U.S. men's national team. But anyways, that's my 90-second take on the game last night.
No, I love it. We could talk U.S. men's national team this whole time because you're right. Richards is great. I think Balogun is so good. I think I said it after the first game. Like he might be the most important player on this team, more so than Christian Pulisic. But I think you just get those guys on, try to warm up their legs a little bit, make it where they don't have to go like 2 full weeks without a match. That's what I can imagine. But you're right in the fact that it's a little weird that you're bringing on some of the guys that you were quote unquote resting, but I think it's just to get their feet a little warm. Speaking of feet that are warm, that's a clunky way to transition over to Corey Haim winning at San Diego, but I bet his feet were warm. I bet his feet were warm, Pat. It was a nice day in San Diego over there on the naval base in Coronado. Did you expect Corey Haim to have that type of performance?
I knew it would come this year. I didn't expect it to be at San Diego. But what I will say is that across the board, 2311 Racing had something that everybody else didn't. If you just look at the guys that outkicked their coverage for that weekend, Bubba Wallace got second at a road course.
That's insane.
He's awful, and he owns it on road courses. And Bubba is not a disciplined driver on the road courses and finished second. Riley Herbst, the worst driver in their stable, got a top 10 on the road course. But to be fair, Riley has been solid on the road courses in his career in the other series. So to be fair there. But regardless, Tyler Reddick was battling Corey Haim late. Corey Haim in the Truck Series, his last year in the Truck Series, 2025 when he won the championship, he was a lead on the road courses, man. And that's somewhere he's come a long way. And Corey's career, I was talking about this on another show this week, where he has come from in 2019 to now, a guy that couldn't win an ARCA race, a guy that couldn't figure it out, all of a sudden in 2022 wins one of the biggest late model stock car events in the country at South Boston, part of the Virginia Triple Crown in 2022. He beats Lee Pulliam. Just think about a Hall of Famer in the NFL. That's what Lee Pulliam is to late model stock car short track racing in Virginia. Corey Haim beats him to wreck across the line, wins a ton of truck races, a ton of ARCA races leading up to that, and all of a sudden it just clicks. And Corey Haim, it wasn't just then, it was the past 2 years, the dominant guy in trucks. When he has performed this year in the limited time he has in Cup, he has done well. He has done a lot better than a lot of the younger guys we have in the series that lack experience, a.k.a. the win this past weekend. And when he's racing trucks this year in limited roles with Tricon, he has been fantastic. He's won races, a handful of them. And so Corey Haim, just to see his growth and how much he has really risen through the ranks that is racing, it's been incredible to watch.
And it was an incredible win, a 10-second margin of victory there for Corey. Like, he put on his SVG hat and he did his best Shane Van Gisbergen impression because SVG wasn't out there on the course. So Corey Heim said, all right, hold my beer. Let me go have some fun out there with SVG Joe chilling in the garage.
Well, I mean, it's crazy to think about because I think there's a major element to this that we're not talking about. Obviously, SVG and Connor Zilic get caught up in that wreck midway through the race, and that takes them out of contention. And then, there's a lot of different strategies going on. There's a lot of unknowns. This race was long as hell. It's probably one of the longest events I've been a part of in regards to, I don't think it necessarily needs to be as long as it was, but it was with how long the track was, the track times being what they were. And this is the first time I've ever been a part of a broadcast where we had to have our guys, our booth. Keep in mind, we usually have a handful of guys throughout the course to essentially cover any area we need to cover. Our booth guys, because this track was so long, had to have 2 different pickup points to throw it back out to the turns midway through the race, where they only usually do that one lap. You go into turn 1, you hear Dave Moody. If you're at Talladega, you go down the backstretch, you hear Kyle Rickey. And then it's Tim Catafamo in turn 4. And then you come back to your booth, right, on the straightaway. Well, our booth was doing twice the work every single lap because of how long this course was. And hopefully I painted a good picture for the average listener to kind of understand how crazy this event was. I loved it. The parity was incredible. You take away the best road course racers, and you get an unknown. You get an unpredictable race. But the thing that we're not talking about, Jack, that I prefaced when I first started talking, and my long-winded ass hasn't gotten to, is that Corey Heim beat the best driver in the series right now. Think about Tyler Reddick's season. Tyler Reddick, a great road course racer. Denny Hamlin, not a factor on the road courses. Tyler Reddick is one of the best road course racers we have that's not Shane Van Gisbergen or Connor Zilic. Bottom line, look at the stats. Look at the people that have beat Shane Van Gisbergen. He's one of the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, late in that race, Corey Heim is just biding his time, man. He's nipping at the heels. He's running Tyler Reddick down, running better, faster times. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, the tire going down is what really got him past. No, he was passing him regardless. Corey is a veteran driver now. He knows how to win races. He's got 26 of them in the truck series. The kid knows how to win, and having that experience of when to make your move, when to listen to your crew chief, and when to really push the gap and really to push the precedent, right? He has learned when and how to do it when the time matters, and he's done that. There's something to be said winning a lot of races and not just being dominant and doing it in many different ways. And that kid, when the light was at its brightest, shine when the moment mattered, and he outraced one of NASCAR's best to get his first career win. That's an unbelievable win. We're not talking about a Chris Buescher first-time win because of fog at Pocono. You know what I mean? And we're talking about taking on the sport's best, beating them and saying, this is my moment, this is my time. And you know what? In Coronado, it was military time. Right now in NASCAR, it's Heim time.
Man, that's a bar right there, Pat. Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network joining us. And we stay out west. We stay on road courses. The in-season challenge begins, the second year of the in-season challenge. We head on out to Sonoma, California, wine country for the Sonoma race. Look, Tyler Reddick, it's a two-man race at the top of the standings right now. Still a lot of season to go. I understand that. But it's Reddick and Hamlin. Hamlin has closed it down to just an 8-point difference between the two. But Reddick, you said it, is a very good road course driver. Can he put some points and put some distance, rebuild that padding up between him and Denny this weekend?
Yes, absolutely. But I think it's one of those things where, I think he was going to do that if he hadn't had the tire go down late. I think he was going to finish second place in that race if he doesn't have that late race issue. But that's an if when whatever it could have been. You know what I mean? It should have happened. It didn't. To answer your question, yes, I think he does that this weekend. Besides Tyler Reddick, kind of padding that back. I mean, Denny Hamlin might get eliminated in the first round of the in-season challenge, because he's going up against Ty Dillon, and that dude last year after what we saw in the in-season challenge, nobody wants to go up against that guy. But regardless, Denny, he's been on an unbelievable run. I think him and Reddick are both going to be consistently fast throughout the season. It's been very evident that those two are the two Toyotas to beat. It's one of those things, man, that, Tyler Reddick has not fallen off. And I think last week there was an opportunity for Denny to fall off there. We saw a little bit of it, but Tyler had an issue late. And then this week, we go back to another road course where Tyler Reddick is not bad at. That's not who I'm looking at. That's when we're talking about kind of contenders and guys that are going to be a factor this weekend. I don't really look at a points battle. I think we just have a long way to go, and those two are clearly the two best right now, and they probably will be throughout the season. I think what stands out to me is, does SVG bounce back? The answer is probably yes. What stands out to me is last year, Chase Briscoe had a great battle with SVG here. Do we see that again? Does Chase finally get his first win of the season?
I love the Shane Van Gisbergen portion of this because I don't know if you saw Ryan Preece's tweet about a week ago or whenever the in-season challenge bracket came out, but Ryan Preece just tweeted it was fun competing in the in-season challenge, guys, because he's got Shane Van Gisbergen this weekend. And if it is like last year where Van Gisbergen and Briscoe are battling, yeah, Ryan Preece probably out of it. Anyone else that you think has a chance? Because I feel like now on the road courses, it's like we know these three guys are really good at it, and the rest are all fighting for third, fourth, fifth, and so on.
I mean, once again, the guy that I just think that there's no thinking about it. The stats speak for themselves. Zane Smith has looked fantastic this last month, man.
Yeah, you were talking about him like 2 weeks ago. You were like, you pegged him as a guy to watch.
And, fourth place finish at San Diego. Todd Gilliland, I thought I don't know what happened in that race, but they were very fast. They put up fast lap times. They just couldn't put it together, but his teammate Zane Smith did. And Front Row had something for San Diego. I think they'll have something for Sonoma. I don't have Zane winning, but if they keep running the way they are, the win's going to come, And I look at everybody else at Ford. Ryan Blaney's the only one that's been consistent. I mean, there's a bunch of sleds at Ford right now, but Ryan Blaney being RFB, Ryan effing Blaney, he finds a way. He's got that clutch gene. And, that's why I think he's the most talented driver in the garage, because he possesses that it factor to get things done when it matters most, something Denny Hamlin doesn't have, or else he'd have a championship, bottom line. That's no shade. That's just the truth. And, when I think about this weekend at Sonoma, guys that have that it factor, I'm trying to think of who could really pull it off. That's not Shane Van Gisbergen or not Connor Zillage. You think about Michael McDowell. Also, AJ Allmendinger told me he didn't really have the speed to win. Well, they got a top 5 last week. Maybe they build off that this week going to Sonoma, just somebody else to watch. And also, like I said, Tyler Reddick. The dude is a dog on these road courses, man. And he's one I look to watch. And the only other one that has kind of put up a fight against Shane Van Gisbergen on these road courses has been Christopher Bell. Just thinking about races where Shane didn't win and other guys came into the fold and mattered. Christopher Bell is definitely one of those. But that's just a handful of drivers that kind of stand out to me. That's not your typical guys that, if the right strategy, the right situation, if Shane Van Gisbergen doesn't figure it out this week or doesn't have a bounce back week, who could it be that's not him? Those guys come to mind for me.
I love it, Pat. Always appreciate your insights each and every Friday. Pat Jaggers from the Motor Racing Network. Where can people find the race?
So it's going to be on with our friends, the Performance Racing Network this week, and the Motor Racing Network is off. Thank God. I'm just kidding.
You guys have been running the gauntlet over there. You guys are traveling. I don't think people realize the broadcasting side of it. You guys are traveling each and every weekend, just like these drivers. Man, it takes a toll on y'all.
Yeah, and I don't know how our guys do it for 38 weekends a year with the 2 exhibitions in there. I don't know how they do it. I'm on the road for probably anywhere between 12 to 16. This year, probably a little bit closer to 18 with some of the other things I'm doing, not just radio wise, but I don't know how they do it, man, but I am embracing this rest, that's for sure. But I was telling Jack this, and this is probably a little too inside baseball. I think I have slept in my bed twice in the last month.
Whew. You've been running around.
Yes. But that's the life, man. I mean, we could be doing way worse things. We could be doing plumbing, or we could be, doing construction. But I get to come on with you guys and talk racing. That's bleeping awesome.
Hey, I love that outlook. So your friends at the Performance Racing Network got the race this weekend. So you have a nice weekend off. Enjoy it. Soak it in. Maybe enjoy a glass of wine while watching the race in Sonoma in wine country.
Well, you know what? I'll open up my bottle of upstate New York wine. How about that?
Yeah, you went, man. We'll talk all about that trip when I'm down in Charlotte in just a couple of weeks. We're down there in ACC kickoff. Pat, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. See you guys.
There goes Pat Jaggers of the Motor Racing Network. Always appreciate his time, man. He's making me jealous with that bottle of upstate New York. They got some good wine. New York is a slept-on wine region, right next to Virginia. Both of them good wine regions.
As long as it's not from the city of New York.
Yeah, of course. Could you imagine?
I got to stay on brand.
I've had a glass of wine from the city of New York. They had like this really cool I won't bore you.
I got to stay on brand.
Yeah, you got to stand on business.
The only thing I like in New York is the Ninja Turtles.
Do you like pizza? Do you like a New York slice?
Yes.
All right.
I love it.
So you also like a New York slice?
But I don't want to go to New York to get it.
You can go to Jersey and get better pizza. I'll tell you that right now. New Jersey, right across the river in Hoboken, New Jersey, Jersey City. Better pizza than New York.
Square pizza, right?
No, that's Detroit. Jersey's also got square. You can get square. Sicilians got square, but they got pizza by the slice and so good. Also, bagels in Jersey better than New York. I said it. Look, I might be making some enemies here on this Friday morning. It's Hot Take Friday. I'm coming with them.
Bagels are overrated.
Nate's Bagel's not overrated. I love a Nate's Bagel.
They're in the way. It's too much bread, man.
I do. You can get them scooped.
I don't want. Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind that. I don't like a bagel sandwich with too much bread.
All right. Let's get a quick break and step aside. On that note, we'll be back to wrap up this Friday edition of Fitz the Bill.
Fitz the Bill on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Back in just a moment.
Check out every international soccer match while enjoying an authentic Mexican dining experience at La Playa Restaurant, 2617 West Broad Street in the Fan, LaPlayaRVA.com.
Experience fun in a street-legal electric low-speed vehicle from Bintelli at Richmond LSV. Schedule a test drive today. Info at richmondlsv.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Catch up on the latest horse racing news with Off to the Races live broadcast, 10 to 11 every Saturday morning on 106.1 ESPN. Presented by The Racing Biz.
This is advertising material.
Our highways have become hunting grounds. The Predators, 18-wheelers, 80,000-pound killing machine sharing the road with your family. A semi-truck doesn't need to be speeding to destroy your life. At just 30 miles per hour, a fully loaded big rig can crush a car like a soda can. Your airbags, your seatbelts, they weren't built for that. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys knows trucking companies cut corners on maintenance, push drivers past legal limits, and hire underqualified operators. You shouldn't pay the price. If you've been injured in a trucking accident, call Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. You're not just fighting a driver, you're fighting billion-dollar corporations with an army of lawyers. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys have thrived over the years by taking on the the trucking industry. They fight harder. They win bigger. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys is on your side. One call is all it takes. No cost, no risk. And they don't get paid until you do. Call 877-222-6666 or visit alexwins.law. They fight for you.
Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Every case is different. Philip George, licensed attorney in Virginia, is responsible for legal work. Office located at 500 East Main Street, Suite 1600-113, Norfolk, Virginia 23510. This is advertising material.
Richmond wanted local sports talk in the morning, and we fits the bill. Back now on 106.1 ESPN Richmond.
Oh, another free one. Thanks, dog. You always hook me up.
Another hour of the fun stuff on deck.
Another one of your nonsensical rambling stories.
And another round for everyone on me. I don't want to hear another peep. Okay, all right, here's another one.
Another thing before we get up on out of here on this Friday morning, I want to throw a question over to Alan. Who's the next big star we see trade? Is it Jaylen Brown? What? Jaylen Brown leaving? I've heard Kevin Durant rumblings, John Morant, LeBron signing somewhere as an unrestricted free agent. What's the next big domino to fall here in the NBA postseason?
I think it'll be Brown.
You think it'll be Brown?
Yeah, I think it'll be Brown.
I think he ends up in Charlotte. With what Charlotte did yesterday, I do think they are the ones that are going to land him. I think they send that 2033 unprotected first, probably package one or two other unprotected firsts in there. Maybe all of those pick swaps that they have with Minnesota. So then that pick swap is just between, I guess it would be the Hornets pick swap with Celtics, but owned with the Timberwolves, but owned by the Celtics. Oh, my goodness. Those are always confusing. With maybe Brandon Miller in there, and that would bring him back Jaylen Brown.
Celtics are demanding at least 4 first rounds. I think the Hornets are positioned for that.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they got one yesterday. They've accumulated draft picks plus all the pick swaps.
Yeah.
They should be able to get that. Plus Brandon Miller. Maybe not Brandon Miller. Maybe instead Mikal Bridges.
They wanted
not Mikal Bridges.
From Minnesota.
The other Bridges.
From Minnesota, they wanted Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, young players, and heavy draft compensation, so they could maybe get Naz Reid in this. Naz Reid and Miller with some draft picks for Brown.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's doable, and it wouldn't be a bad. It definitely wouldn't be a bad deal for the Celtics.
No.
So maybe that might be too giving.
So right now, Charlotte owns in 2027. They own 1 first rounder. They own Miami's first rounder in 2028. They've got a lot. They've got a lot of picks.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of.
That's
picks.
That's why I was saying I'm gonna give them the benefit of doubt and wait to see the finished product, because I feel like a move like that seems more of a posturing move. They also had a salary dump in that too as well, right? Like they got out of paying LaMelo a certain amount of money.
Yeah, and then they got the trade exception of $40+ million.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, between now and 2033, they have 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 first-round picks that either they own or they own the rights to.
I'm saying maybe it's a long game. Let's see how it plays out.
But right now it's an F. I'm gonna be a hater right now.
Right now, you're the guy that I saw in the video that was just absolutely irate
in the car.
Yeah.
The guy out of the car. That was an epic video.
He was great.
Cancel the trade. Cancel the trade right now. We gotta get him back. Get LaMelo back. We need him back.
What the bleep are y'all doing? He was great.
I just love how he's just hanging out of his car. Was it a convertible? And he's just like standing up in his convertible. He's like, this sucks.
That entire interview embodied what I know of Charlotte. Because I usually stay uptown anyway, and those are the people I see uptown. Did you catch the very end when the lady was like, sure gonna miss some speeding around town?
I missed that. That's how you know LaMelo was loved. The dude put everyone in danger after every single one of the game. And still, when he leaves, everyone's like, oh, bring him back.
I've personally seen LaMelo's Joker-like speeding 3 times since I've been down
vroom,
to Charlotte.
Vroom, vroom, man. Vroom, vroom.
It's insane.
All right, you got 4 minutes. Text in the word Ironclad to win a $25 gift card to Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company. Locations in the West End, Shockoe Bottom, one out in Lynchburg. If you ever find your way out there, a $25 gift card to Ironclad Coffee and Baking Company. Text in between now and the end of the show. We are giving away one of those. We're also giving away a 4-pack of tickets to tonight's Flying Squirrels game. We have 5 of those to give away. So text in right now, 804-327-888. Be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets. It's football night. The Flying Squirrels will be wearing their Las Ardillas Voladores jerseys. I think I'm getting that right. I think I'm nailing that pronunciation. Look, I took French in high school. I took Italian in college, and I'm trying to mesh the two. Two languages, by the way, that do me no good in today's. Like I never use them.
I'm still trying to figure out the English.
Same over here. Same. But text in the word squirrels to be entered in to win a 4-pack of tickets. First 2,500 fans tonight, they get a free soccer scarf because it is football night. Gates open at 5:30. First pitch for the game is about 7:05. I'll be throwing out the first pitch as well. I think that'll happen around like 6:45, 6:50 or so. If you want to get in a little bit early, see me either be an absolute ace or make an absolute fool out of myself. I don't think there is a middle ground. It's one or the two. So come on by, say hi. We'll also have a table set up. Have some Fitz the Bill stickers, some Fitz the Bill hats will be given away. So come on by, say hi, say what's up. You can get a free soccer scarf if you're there early enough. And it should be a really fun night over there at CarMax Park because they've caught World Cup fever. If you don't win the tickets, don't worry. There are still tickets available for tonight's game that are just $10. You can get tickets for as low as $10. Just head on over to squirrelsbaseball.com and you can get those. So yeah, should be fun over there, Carmack. I'm starting to warm up my shoulder now. I did some warm-up throws yesterday. I used a tennis ball to do it. I think I might have to start transitioning over to a baseball, a little different size, a little different heftiness, but that's going to be between now and when I do it. I'm just going to be throwing pitches. I may not have a rotator cuff when I come back on Monday because I'll be throwing the baseball so much.
Use your body, man, not just your arm.
I use it all, man. I'm going to shake off the pitcher a bunch. I'm going to look him. Nope, that's not my pitch. That's not my pitch, bro. Give me fastball inside, and then I'll hit the batter. Do you think I can go to the bullpen? You know how they have like the fake people that they put up in the bullpen while the pitchers are warming up?
Yeah.
You think I can run to the bullpen, grab one of those, put them in the batter's box, and then throw my pitch?
No.
All right. Well, it was worth a try. It was worth a try.
You stay away from the bullpen.
That'll do it for Fitz the Bill this week. Appreciate you guys clocking in throughout the entire week, making us part of your morning. We'll be back Monday, 8 a.m., of course, with our overreactions. But keep it locked right here between now and then because we are where Richmond talks sports. We're back live and local from the capital of the Commonwealth at 4 p.m. with the mid-major match show from 4 until 6. There's some Braves baseball this weekend. There's some awesome shows throughout the weekend as well. So make sure your dial never leaves 106.1 ESPN Richmond. Talk to you guys Monday. Have a great weekend.
Your home for Richmond Spiders athletics all year round. W291CL Lakeside Richmond. WURV HD2 Richmond. We are 106.1 ESPN.